happening, gamers? This is Bradley here. Welcome back to a new episode of That's Nintendo Crazy. So the year 2013 is coming to a close, so it is about time to take a look at the past year and see what some of the best games were. So today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 best Nintendo games of 2013. Now before we start, 3 things. 1, this list can include third-party titles that don't necessarily have to be exclusives. 2, these are just my opinions, so your picks just might differ. And 3, if there's a game that you think should have been mentioned on this list, it could have been because I haven't actually played the game. So if you mention Fire Emblem Awakening or Animal Crossing New Leaf, you're banned. I'm just kidding, please don't leave, I love you. But without further ado, here are my picks for the top 10 best Nintendo games of 2013. I never got my mittens on Luigi's Mansion back on the GameCube, so Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on the 3DS was my first experience with the series, and it's a great addition to the 3DS library. It may not be the type of game I'm especially fond of, as it is on the slower side, but I tried it out anyways and found a game that wasn't half bad. It's great being able to snoop around a variety of mansions and sucking up every little inch with the mighty Poltergust. Luigi's characterization is quirky, there are loads of secrets to find, and the 3D depth looks great, so the good old Dark Moon is scaring its way in at number 10. The platforming genre is one of my favorite type of video games, so the limbless hero Rayman is leaving his mark on this list with Rayman Legends. Although originally planned as a Wii U exclusive, the game went multi-platform and really hasn't sold all too well for Ubisoft. But that doesn't mean it is a bad game by any means, because in actuality it is quite good. The game is full of wackiness, platforming goodness, and music levels that are pure epic sauce. The Murphy stages may not be my favorite parts of the game, but they're still somewhat enjoyable alongside the hectic jumping and slapping. I started to lose my desire to play Pokemon games when Pokemon Diamond and Pearl came around. I just couldn't get into them. But it is good to know that my childhood love for Pokemon is still somewhere inside of me, as I found the latest entries in the series, Pokemon X and Y, to be pretty great. I think one of the big parts on why I like the new installments is that they look so different from past Pokemon games. Being able to go into a full 3D world is really refreshing, and all the Pokemon models look fantastic and are reminiscent of their pixelated counterparts. Also, the battles move along at a desirable pace, and just having a new region with new Pokemon is great to experience. The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD is a charming game. The art style just oozes with so much joy, and it's a big part of why I'm fond of this Zelda title. And seeing it all with updated HD visuals just makes it that much better. I never actually finished The Wind Waker back on the GameCube, so being able to go back to the world flooded with water again was great, and the little tweaks that Nintendo made makes it that much better. Most notable is a Swift Sail that allows you to fly across the vast ocean quicker without even having to break out the Wind Waker to change the direction of the wind. It just gets rid of the tediousness of having to spend long amounts of time sailing the sea. If you haven't played the original, the new and improved remake is waiting. Although it was an updated version of a previously released game, I enjoyed Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, so hearing that I would be able to glide through the streets of Gotham City as the Caped Crusader again in Batman Arkham Origins on Wii U piqued my interest, and well, I wasn't disappointed. Sure, Origins plays really similar to Arkham City, but that is not necessarily a bad thing, as the combat system is still top notch. It's just great being able to explore another storyline involving the Bat and his rogues, sneaking up on baddies and just straight up beating some thugs. Plus, this is a good game to start with if you are new to the series, as it is a prequel and you don't need to know what happened in the previous installments. The Wonderful 101 may be one of the more oddball Wii U games, but it also has to be one of the more unique Wii U games out there. Even though it might not be the best-selling title and some reviewers frown upon it, I had a blast mowing down robot baddies with the Wonderful 100. The Wonderful 101 is just non-stop action, as it introduces a unique mechanic of drawing out weapons called Unite Morphs. The bigger they are, the more devastating they get. It's really fun trying to chain up combos and get a platinum medal on each stage, as tough as that might be. Plus, the game's got memorable characters and plenty of replay value. So, the Wonderful 101 definitely deserves a spot in my top 5. Top-down 2D Zelda games are not usually my cup of tea, as I usually prefer playing the 3D Zelda titles, but I did take a special fondness to the 3DS Zone: The Legend of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. Having all the main weapons available for you to use practically right from the start of the game is brilliant, because it opens up the whole world of Hyrule to you early on. Plus, the new wall merging mechanic is really well put together and not a gimmick by any means, as it is used throughout the dungeons and overworld. Plus, it opens up new ways for you to look at the environment to solve puzzles, and that 3D effect looks fantastic. I'm totally open with Nintendo making another top-down Zelda game that's as well put together as A Link Between Worlds. You know, I really didn't like Pikmin 2. I don't know, it just didn't really capture my attention with you crawling through a load of caves that just didn't change much, with them all looking visually similar. But Pikmin 3 changed my mind on the series, as it was something that I enjoyed. I think one of the major factors on why I approved this game is that the visuals really drew me in and they clearly look fantastic. I love the addition of the new rock and winged Pikmin and even prefer them over the old white and purple Pikmin, as they just felt more memorable and unique. The controls have also been improved as I am now able to see more clearly where I am aiming my Pikmin, and the gamepad screen comes in handy as you get a zoomed out overhead look at the layout of the map, helping you know where things are. I can't forget to mention that the mission mode is a really great addition, and it is fun trying to earn a better medal. It's truly a great game. When I first started playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, I seriously wasn't enjoying it. I pushed myself to continue playing it though, and I'm glad I did, because lo and behold, it has become one of my favorite Wii U games as I spent nearly 100 hours duking it out with larger than life monsters. It may have a rocky start as the game's mechanics are complex, with it being something where you need time to wrap your head around, and some of the early missions are not all that special. It isn't until later that things really become quite splendid, as the game becomes second nature as you fight interesting and terrifying monsters like the electrifying Lagiacrus or the tank of a creature, Duramboros. This game is all about taking your time and trying to find the opportune moment to attack the fierce creatures that can honestly take over 10 minutes to defeat. It really calls for strategy and not mindless button mashing, and that's definitely one of the game's strong suits. I spent nights banding together with other hunters from around the world to take on even more creatures to improve my hunter ranking to become the greatest hunter ever known to the history of hunting hunters. It's certainly the ultimate game. To be honest, I was fairly disappointed when Nintendo first unveiled Super Mario 3D World during their E3 Nintendo Direct, as I was getting too much of a 3D Land vibe. Plus, there just didn't seem to be too much to grab my attention. For some, including myself, things started to turn around when the phenomenal second trailer was released, revealing the loads of variety the game would come to include, and Mario's latest 3D outing delivered. Even though it may seem similar to 3D Land, it's just so much better with its more fleshed out and clever level designs and massive amounts of variety that dwarfs 3D Land in comparison. Almost every level introduces something unique in terms of how the stages are designed, so that you won't feel like you're playing through the same levels over and over again. Also, having 4 different playable characters with different abilities is refreshing as we get to take a break from using the Red Plumber. Plus, I can't fail to mention the game's visuals, as they are dazzling and pleasing to the eye, and it's great to finally see a true Mario game in high definition as it just really draws you into the game world. And collecting those pesky green stars are still enjoyable as ever. So that is why Super Mario 3D World is taking home the cake and topping off my list as the top 10 best Nintendo games of 2013. But that will bring us to the end of this latest episode of That's Nintendo Crazy, and don't be afraid to leave your top 10 picks in the comment section below. If you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and add to your favorites and all that good stuff. You can stay tuned for more news videos, video reviews, and That's Nintendo Crazy episodes. But I will talk to y'all in the next video, guys. Bye!